Ready? Because it's time! In the bottom left-hand corner, representing Zerg, it is, in the red trunks, AJQunderskor. And in the top right-hand corner, our mech hero, he plays with battle cruisers and mines, sets up siege tanks professionally. He is the Ravenator. Our Terran hero going for a gas first opening. Interesting against Zerg, so we're likely to see a very quick factory from our Terran hero. All right. Maybe not. Maybe not. What is the plan for Ravenator? He's actually... Is he going for a barracks as the lower half wall off? He is. Look at this. Walling off at the natural. No fear. No fear from Zergling run-bys. No fear from early roaches or ravagers. Just starting the wall off quick down below. I love it. Second gas started up above. And we should see... Ooh, what is this guy? He must be our scout. This must be our scout. Gas first TVZ. This is Pog already. Jason Pog. Jugger Pog. Gas first. 2 gases already against a Zerg? This is unheard of. And we're not proxying either? What is the plan for Ravenator? I couldn't tell you. The plan for Kunderskor, on the other hand, is going to be a pool after hatchery, likely a third base. No scouts going across other than the overlords, which will take some time to get here. And by that time, Ravenator is going to have a factory done. He's already pulled one guy off gas. He might pull another one off to get a quicker CC, but it looks like he just wants to keep teching up for now. Maybe we'll see a very quick Banshee or Raven play to see him living up to his name. Maybe he'll harass with that Raven. Who knows? I have never seen Ravenator play this matchup before, so I'm very excited to see what his go-to build is. And Ravenator just keeping an eye, looking for third bases with the SCV. Still not seeing one. Couple of Lings in production, but no Reaper going to go across the map. Instead, just Marines, Tech Lab on the factory, and a Starport to complete the wall on the low ground. So I can only imagine these Marines are going to be used to deny scouts from the Overlord. And there's not really going to be any pressure from these Lings as there is a full wall off with some big boy buildings. So very interested to see what the plan is. Maybe we'll see a Marine Cyclone drop. Marine Cyclone maybe? Marine Tank, but that doesn't really make too much sense. No, he is going to indeed go for what will either be Banshee or Raven, as he's going to swap the factory with the Starport. Oh, I stand corrected. He is not. He's just going to deny that Overlord from that position there. He's not going to let it sit up above there and be safe. What is the follow-up? An armory? Are we going to see a Thor drop? Are we back to Thor dropping, but on one base? Oh my goodness. We're going to see some Thor drops in TVZ. One base Thor drop. I am excited. There he is. Thor is in production, and here comes the medevac. So, how much damage can this do? Well, there's not a lot of Zerglings out. There's 3 queens. They do have reduced range, so that's going to help with the pickup micro of the Thor. The Thor cannot be... You can't state enough how good a Thor is early against queens. Queens are like okay, they can heal each other through it, but the high impact Thors are pretty sick against queens. And there's going to be an expansion behind this, so it's not going to be an all-in. It's just going to be a Liberator and a Thor drop. So this could cause a lot of damage. With a Thor taking attention from the queens, a Liberator could get a lot done, and there are no Spore Crawlers yet. So we're even getting +1 attack for the Thors. So Thor is going to be strong. He's doing his bicep curls. That is what he is doing. All right, boosting across the map. And the Overlord will scout it. The Overlord does see it here. So now what is the response? Does he actually see it, though? He sees it with the Overlord, but the queens are not responding. So he must not have noticed the mini-map. He is looking in the main base to see what's going on. And now he sees it. Thor is dropping down. All of the drones are pulled almost immediately. Bruising up 1 Overlord, 2 Overlords. Not really doing a whole lot as far as damage goes. gets one drone kill. The expansion finishing now, and where is that Liberator? Liberator is going across to the north side, while the Thor is going to actually attack the Spire. Very nice play there. Gets the Spire to cancel, and now the Thor is going to scoot away, boosting away, while the Liberator is going to set up in the natural base. And there's even an SCV here to repair the Thor. How cheeky is this? Repairs the Thor, going to probably repair the medevac. And now you've got a Liberator in the natural. So again, all these drones getting pulled away from the natural. There's not going to be any mining done. Able to get a couple of larvae and a drone. These drones finally going back to the main, but it's undersaturated. And now the Spire's been delayed. It's being delayed and rebuilt at the natural base. Interesting that our Zerg still wants to go Lingbane Muta despite seeing very early Thors. He must think that he can maybe push back the Thors and maybe do some counter damage, and that maybe he can jump on the Thor with a bunch of Mutalisks, but these Lings are not going to do anything. Plain and simple, they are not going to do anything against this wall. There's not even really any units at home to defend other than one Thor, which is going to be dropped on the other side, it looks like. And look at this. Going back with the Thor. Queen's not in the main, so Thor going to get some damage done again. He's going to kill one drone. There goes another one. And now even getting into this nice little nook and killing some Zerglings. Doing a lot of damage here. I wonder how many. He's going to get a good portion of these Lings. And now he's sending the second drop to the north side of the map. And again, just bringing him back over here to the SCV to repair. The medevac taking no damage. And now Liberator over the third base. Of course, this is just a heavy harassment style, and you know, a couple of actually more drones in production. He's not even building Mutalisks right now. Instead, trying to be very greedy and replace some of the lost drones and build as many as possible, knowing that this is the only form of harassment. But you know, Ravenator hasn't lost any units yet, really, other than the Liberator, so he still has this harassment potential with the Thor at both sides. Thor being dropped in now at the north base, killing a couple of drones, getting a third one even. And now just the delayed mining time is huge here. There's not a lot of units. He's going to pick off even a Spore Crawler maybe. Getting a bunch of Lings in the process here. Killing the Spore maybe. Yes, gets the Spore. So that's a big deal as far as the harassment goes. He wants to keep going with Liberators, but instead no. Thor's going to kill one Queen, gets a lot of this energy off. He's going to drop the second Thor back into the main base. Now Thor doing damage to the main base mineral line, and actually going to do some damage to these Mutalisks that finally have come out. But I think it might be a little bit late for that, as the Thor now is able to pick off some of these Mutalisks. Oh yeah, that's a lot now though. I don't think. Ooh, maybe he picks up the Thor, kills two Mutalisks. Now we'll see how good the pickup micro is. He's going to chase down the Thor. Okay, there's not gonna be any more pickup micro. That is it. So Thor goes down, misses out on a medevac as well. And does he save the other? I think we missed whether or not he saved the other Thor. These are now almost +2 Thors. He did save the other Thor. It does go back to the main, but these mutas aren't going to do anything. There's 3 Thors at the natural. He's got a planetary set up at the third base location and a bunch of missile turrets. So this isn't going to do a whole lot. With pickup micro and repairing on the missile turrets, he should be able to hold this. No? Yeah, he's able to hold this location, but he loses the missile turrets. So he's not even actually denying the mining, really. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Thor's taking down Mutalisks. Yeah, the Mutalisks did a little bit of damage to the SCV line, kills a couple of missile turrets, but Ravenator getting a 4th base down now. Yeah, the drones are up at 65, but we have 65 SCVs for the Terran. And even though you don't really like to see a planetary as your 3rd base, I mean, whatever works, works. And in this case, you know, you have massive mutas, and Mutaling Bane is going to have a very hard time breaking this down. And once you start seeing tanks added to the mix as well, it's going to be very difficult for any sort of Lingbane Muta play to harass at all. It's going to be a very safe 3-base economy from Ravenator. And maybe we'll even see some pressure with these Thors. They do have +2 attack. I feel like the Mutas are not going to do very good against +2 attack Thors. And look at this, a whole lot of SCVs coming to repair. We have an SCV Thor pull against Zerg. Only a few Ravagers in production, but this is not enough Zerglings to get a surround on these and do damage. I actually think this could be a killing blow. All the Mutas on the other side of the map, these SCVs are going to do a very good job repairing all the Thors And this is just going to be very strong here. We also even have a medevac that's going to be able to heal the SCVs while they heal the Thors. But now a lot of roaches coming out. All right, here we go. Engagement happening at the ramp. Some good biles, but pickup micro from the medevac while the SCVs are repairing. Excellent pickup micro from our boy Ravenator. Not losing a single Thor yet. This is just incredibly strong, and a lot of roaches going down. +2 Thors doing very, very good against the mutas. And now all these SCVs repairing the Thors. I've never seen anything like this in TVZ. This is actually insane. We got more. Look at how fast these roaches are dying to these Thors. They're going to take out this base as well. And maybe AJQunderskor a little bit confused as to what this is. Loses a lot of the mutas. They come in from behind, but roaches on the bottom side. The pickup micro is just way too strong here. He's able to move the injured Thors back into SCVs that are repairing them. And the Thor's just getting maximum value here and doing as much damage as they can to these Thors while there's units being reproduced back at home. So killing a base and all of these roaches, this is just insane usage of the medevac. All these Thors just reigning supreme over the roaches. Look at this. +2 Thors doing some work. And now they're 2-2. We're on even bases, although there is a 4th made up for Ravenator. I think he's a little bit focused on the micro right now. He wins the battle, no problem. And now the economy is just ravaged for the Zerg. The Zerg not having really any economy back other than he just gets his 3rd base back up now. But now more Thors being added, more SCVs being pulled to try and save these Thors. But actually a little bit of a blunder from Ravenator. He loses all 4 of these Thors before the SCVs can come back to repair. And now these Thors might also be picked off. He's got to be very careful here. He's going to lose 1 Thor. There's 1 left here. Pickup micro's okay. He's dodging a couple of shots, killing some Thor. Or no, he doesn't really kill any roaches there. So what was a very good lead for Ravenator, now he's in a little bit of trouble here as his army is not that big. His army supply is 40 to 58. What is his army right now? 4? What's he have? 4 Thors, 3 Thors, and 2 Marines. So the 2 Marines were just those originals that were made. They're going to go in suicide over here. But having 2-2 mech is very strong. You start adding in, I was going to say, you could start adding in some siege tanks, but no. Instead, takes more bases. He's going to keep the Thor production up. It's just going to be mass Thor, and he's going to be 3-3 or +3 armor very soon. He's got that on the way. And with the lead he got from killing this base earlier, he should be able to outproduce the Zerg for the time being, at least with better units. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of roaches. He might get a nice roach max, but the longer this goes for Ravenator and the longer his economy doesn't take hits, the more difficult it's going to be for AJQunderskor to actually go across and kill him, because, you know, the roaches are not going to trade that well against a maxed Thor army. The best thing he can do right now is just try to go across with everything he has and maybe deny one of these bases, but even then I think it's going to be very difficult with them both being planetaries and having some defensive Thors. So we're going to have to try and see if AJQunderskor tries to get a tech advantage. He does have a hive on the way. We'll likely see Broodlords or Infestors added to this, but instead he's actually maybe a bit of a misstep. He's getting +2 attack for melee when he's going mass roach. So that's something to make note of. There are drilling claws on the way now, so it looks like Ravenator wants to add some different mech units to his composition, definitely adding in Widowmines will help a lot, especially if AJQunderskor does switch back to getting Zerglings. This upgrade could be for the Broodlord, the Broodling attacks, though, as he looks like that's probably what he wants to transition to with the Corruptors already on the field. And a little bit of inaction going, but there are 4 Corruptors harassing this planetary, but that's not really going to do anything. These missile turrets should finish up. And as long as he doesn't, as long as he gets the repair off here, the DPS from that bile is very strong when you have lots of Corruptors, but with only 4 Corruptors, not that great. These missile turrets going to clean this up, no problem. And now Thor's on the way across the map again with some SCVs to help, but I think this is just way too much. This is a lot of Roach Ravager. They don't have any upgrades though, 0-0, so without a medevac though, I don't think that there's any micro potential here. I think this is a mistake. Ravenator losing a lot of Thors already, and even though, you know, he's taking a decent trade, he's killing a lot of roaches, I think this is just a misstep. He didn't have enough there. There's no medevac to micro the Thors, and now we have AJQunderskor on the offensive, going for another planetary down here. And look at this, the mass expansion style from Ravenator. He's just taking his side of the map, asserting his presence on all over the map with planetaries. So I mean, he's got the economy. He just needs to get more units down. It's going to be lots of Widow Mines. Oh my goodness. There are so many Widow Mines in production. We have Mass Widow Mine and Thor support. So this is just going to be this is going to be a very bad time for our Zerg player until he gets some sort of major tech units out. He's not going for that. Instead, he's actually adding a Baneling Nest and going for Adrenal Glands. I don't think that is the play, but you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't have a full understanding of Zerg, but I think against lots of... I guess if he thinks he's facing mass Thor, then that could be good. But now with the Widow Mines being added in, these Lings are just going to evaporate. This many Widow Mines is just going to destroy this Ling Roach Ravager army along with the Thors to support them. So now getting a full surround on this planetary, he's able to get to the base and not lose a whole lot. He only loses some Lings for a base. That's a very good trade for AJQunderskor. And on the other side of the map, more SCVs being pulled with Widow Mines and Thors marching across the middle of the map. This is very scary for AJQunderskor, as if the Terran can get those Widow Mines into the position he wants and start sieging with the Thors, I feel like it's going to be very difficult to mop this up, especially with Banelings and Zerglings as your primary tool to use against the Thors. I think there's this many Widow Mines. There's just way too many to micro against. And now all of them moving forward. He's gonna burrow one. He's starting to burrow a couple more at a time, but maybe a little bit of a misstep. Doesn't burrow them all. Actually crashes them into a lot of the Banelings, but you know what? Still some Widow Mines remain, and there's no SCVs to repair this, but I think AJQunderskor can clean this up. He is going to get some decent biles off, but he loses a lot of his army in this process. He does kill off almost every Thor. He's just about got him. Got him. All the Thors are dead, but there are Widow Mines now all over this side of the map. It's going to be very difficult for AJQunderskor to clean this up. He loses a lot of drones to these Widow Mines in the mineral lines. And now just the rally of Widow Mines and Thors across the map. There are no Overseers. Okay, there's 2 Overseers. They have to start cleaning all these Widow Mines up. He has to be able to get biles off on the Widow Mines so that he can then engage on the Thors. He does. Ooh, takes a couple of hits from the Widow Mines, but he does clean up 2 of them there. There are still a few on the map, but you know, on Ravenator's side of the map, he is getting a lot of bases. He retook this north base, and his economy is flourishing, whereas AJQunderskor's already mined out his main. It looks like, well, just about mined out his main. He's pretty close to mining out his natural. He's basically only mining from 3 bases, whereas you got about a 4 base mineral and gas mining from Ravenator, and lots of Widow Mines. Widow Mines, Hellions, and Thors. Oh my. This is terrifying. And now we have some Liberator harass, even more harassment. This has got to be so aggravating as a Zerg player to play against. You know, he gets a couple of kills off, but he loses a queen. He's losing drones in the main base to the Liberators, and now Ravenator moving across again with the Thors, keeping the creep back at bay in the middle of the map. We've got some Roaches and Ravagers trying to assert themselves on the map, maybe try and push one of these bases again, but I don't know about this army comp. I feel like he needs to get the Hive Tech units out, and now we got some Spore Crawlers being made, some Static D, still no Greater Spire, still no Ultra Den. We are finally getting +3 ranged and melee for the Zerg player, so he's going to be able to trade out a little bit better against this 3-3 mech army that has been assembled by Ravenator. But man, that's a lot of Widow Mines. That's so much splash damage against this, and there's so many Zerglings in with these Ravagers. Yeah, the Ravagers can outrange the Widow Mines, but the Lings are just going to run forward into them, and you know, Widow Mine Splash is kind of dangerous against friendly units, but against Thors, not so much. It's not going to do a ton of friendly splash damage to these mech units because they're so big. But here we go. All right, Widow Mines charging into the Ravagers. They're going to get the hits. They get the hits off, but a lot of good biles going off. And now the Widow Mines are kind of just on cooldown, but not a lot of units being lost there on either side. I think that AJQunderskor actually lost more there than he wanted to, and now the Widow Mines almost off of their cooldown, charging forward with the Thors. They're going to take out some creep tumors, and look at this. Oh, good connections on the Banelings. Banelings able to take out almost every Widow Mine. Now it's just a Thor army with 1 Widow Mine for support. No siege tanks really with this army. They're gonna have to retreat back to that siege tank, and otherwise there's just gonna be way too much stuff. A very good concave setup for AJQunderskor. where he could attack from 3 different angles if Ravenator pushes forward into that kind of chasm, canyon, whatever you'd like to call it. And now an Ultralisk Cavern added. Maybe we'll see Ultralisk along with this. I don't know if that's the right play either. They could jump on the Thors though, and Ultralisk do fairly decent against Thors when at max upgrades. And look at this, Underscore going for a counter attack again, realizing this Ravenator saves as many workers as he can. He's just going to give up this planetary. I think that's the right move here. Loses the planetary, and a lot of, actually, you know what, some workers returning to mine. Maybe a little bit of a misstep here from Ravenator. And now that base is gone. But now Ravenator is moving across the middle of the map. This is what Ravenator kind of, you know what, not that what he wants. Sure, he loses the base, but he's going to get positioning that he wants. And now another Liberator harassing one of these mining bases from Underscore. It's a very pivotal base for Underscore. He needs to keep mining that, but the Liberator is going to do a lot of damage. And now Ravenator setting up with siege tanks, siege tanks, Widow Mines, and Thors. 3/3 siege tanks very strong against Roach Ravager, but look at this, getting caught unsieged. A lot of Banelings and Lings getting on top of it and getting some corrosive biles on the tanks. This is a very good trade for our Zerg player, and it looks like he's going to be able to clean up all of this. Oh no, huge tank shots. They're able to get rid of all of the Ravagers. Holy shit, you guys. Wow. Those last 3 tank shots probably killed about 20 Ravagers. That was insane. And now drones being pulled off, and a nice split up of these tanks are able to get those drones. I think that might be it now. What looked like a good engagement from Underscore turned into tragedy at the end there. All the Ravagers just dying almost all at once, it seemed. And now some Lings trying to come out and harass, and Mutas as well. Mutas, you know, you definitely don't want to see those at this point in the game as your opponent's been going mass Thor, but they are able to clean up all of the siege tanks now. But at what cost? Now you're invested in all these air units that are going to do poorly against any Thor remax. And yeah, they're going to clean up these tanks, which is very good for him. But I think Ravenator's economy is just too good at this moment. He's been able to keep up harassing with the Liberators, and you're gonna, I don't know if Underscore is going to be able to remax on Roach Ravager or any sort of units that are strong against mass Thor. And ooh, look at this Widow Mine. Cheeky Widow Mine here. Gets a hit, kills a Mutalisk, damages the others. This is a very good back and forth. Ravenator now up at 144 supply to Underscore's 81. I think this could spell the end soon, as you know, we're at 80 workers for the Terran to 48 for the Zerg. The harassment has just been relentless from Ravenator from start to finish right away. You know, it's Liberators, Thor drops, Hellion run-bys, Widow Mines all over the place. And just a slow death for the Zerg player. He's been taking decent trades all game, but you know, just getting out, I don't want to say out macroed, but out expanded by the Terran player. And now we just have almost mass siege tanks, some ghosts being added in. Look at that, some ghosts being added into the mech, along with lots of Widow Mines being thrown around as well. Just trying to be even more annoying, just adding Widow Mines at every location to try and kill as many drones as possible. But I don't even think it's really needed at this point anymore. Ooh, almost gets another nice little cheeky Widow Mine hit. Oh, he will get one. He gets, oh, it doesn't kill the Roach. I forgot Roaches survive a Widow Mine. So where does Underscore go from here? He's gonna have to drone hard again, but with the economy that Ravenator has, I don't think Underscore can really do anything. And we're actually, it looks like we're going to see some nuke play here from Ravenator. Just more and more harassment from our blue Terran. Yeah, we have a nuke going on the north side of the map. We've got nukes going on this side as well. Or no, we just have cloaked ghosts on this side, while Mutalisks are harassing this planetary. Not pulling the trigger on trying to kill that. Okay, now he does. He pulls the trigger, tries to get that missile turret, kills the missile turret, and along with a lot of the workers here. Look at this, another nuke going down. Looks like a lot of the drones did go down. This ghost having 19 kills. It's gonna get another nuke and kill the static defense, and just being torn asunder here. Underscore losing so many drones, down to 22. He did kill another base at the south side, but I think that there's just been too much damage done to Underscore. He's gonna have a very difficult time remaxing and rebuilding units to deal with the Thor tank army that's coming towards him. Lots of Widow Mines here as well. I don't think he's gonna have enough. He does have some Mutalisk. Maybe he can jump on the Thors as they're in high impact mode, but with these Widow Mines coming off cooldown, I don't think the Mutas are going to be able to actually engage this. So now we got Siege Tanks sieging up the south side of the map. We still have a Ghost on the north here. He's got 30 kills. What a champion. He's gonna stick around up there, maybe try to get another nuke go off on that side of the map. And Widow Mines now burrowing. Ooh, a smart move, sending the Overlords to tank the mine shots for the Mutalisk, but I don't think that was enough. This base going down now, more drones being evacuated, another nuke going down on this base, and just too much damage being done. GG's called by AJQunderskor. GG.